years ago, I made a YouTube video talking about a pair of Swedish twins that would be eligible for the 2019 NHL Entry Draft in Vancouver. They were Joel and Max Wahlgren, the Wahlgren Twins, who were very popular here in Vancouver because the other Swedish twins in the NHL had just recently retired, and everybody was saying, yo, the draft is in Vancouver next year, we need to take these guys. Well, nobody took them. The Wahlgrens went undrafted, and this past season they have been slowly making their way up into the Allsvenskan. But their development paths haven't been really aligning with that of somebody who you would expect to eventually make the NHL. Maybe the Wahlgrens never do crack the NHL, and in fact it's probably more likely to say that they won't than that they will. But in today's video, we are talking about another pair of Swedish twins who are available in the 2020 NHL Entry Draft. Let's talk today about Leo Lööf and Linus Lööf, two Swedish-born athletes, twin brothers, who are eligible for this year's NHL Entry Draft in 2020, and whose development paths seem a little bit better than the Wahlgrens were back when the Wahlgrens were eligible to be drafted. Now, I know what you're thinking. Yes, we have more Swedish twins. This is crazy. You can hear how much I am smiling right now because it's so funny. Come on, man. Come on, the Sedins retired and we discovered one pair of Swedish twins. They went undrafted and now there's another pair of Swedish twins. Sweden, man, what's with your twins? Even Henrik Lundqvist has a twin brother. Joel Lundqvist is tearing things up in Sweden and he has been for years. How are there so many twin pair brothers coming out of this country? Okay, let's calm down about that, get the intros out of the way. Let's talk today about Leo and Linus Lööf. Now, Leo and Linus Lööf were born on April 25th, 2002. They are turning 18 in a matter of days. Before the week comes to an end, Leo and Linus Lööf will be 18. They are from Karlstad, Sweden, and they currently play for the Färjestad Junior 20 team in the SuperElit. Now, this is the difference between the Lööf Twins and the Wahlgrens and the Sedin Twins. Leo Lööf is a defenseman, and Linus Lööf is a center. So unlike the Sedins, unlike the Wahlgrens, we have ourselves two different positions. Leo Lööf, the D-man, is 6'1", 179 pounds, and Linus Lööf is 6'0", 163 pounds. I did mention that they played for the same team, the Färjestad SuperElit team, but just looking at the numbers right here, it appears that Linus Lööf had a really bad injury that stopped him from playing the year. Now, full disclosure, there's nothing available online of these guys. I try to search up things on Twitter, try to search things up on Google. Nobody has anything to say about Leo and Linus Lööf, and plus, I'm not really watching too many Färjestad SuperElit games, so everything I'm talking about is just from the numbers here. But it appears that Linus Lööf was sidelined for a big part of the year. He only had 3 games played, he had a goal, and he played 5 games for Team Sweden at the Hlinka Gretzky Cup. Now, Linus Lööf, despite not playing all too much, is ranked 69th by NHL Central Scouting for European skaters. His brother Leo is actually a little bit better, ranked 53rd amongst European skaters. Leo Lööf played 43 games in the SuperElit this past season, getting 15 points. Not bad for a D-man. In fact, he got promoted to play in the SHL and he had 1 game played over there. Playing for the Hlinka Gretzky for Team Sweden, I remember a lot of people actually said that Leo Lööf was a really good standout D-man in some of these games. So it's a good sign to see a player like this develop well and play well against his own age bracket, even though that tournament that he played well in was back in August of 2019. An interesting thing to note, though, is that Leo Lööf's production, 15 points in 43 games played, was actually very similar to Joel Wahlgren's production with the Modo Hockey Club last year. Now granted, last year Max Wahlgren had a lot more points than Joel Wahlgren did, but Leo Lööf as a D-man was able to match Joel Wahlgren's point production, which is pretty good, especially combined with the fact that he also played in the SHL for one game. Now, is there a guarantee that these guys are going to get drafted? Absolutely not. Is there a guarantee that these guys are going to be great and eventually make the NHL? Absolutely not. But, just out of the two, with Leo Lööf's really good resume that he's put up, good games at the Hlinka, SHL playing time, as well as being ranked 53rd by NHL Central Scouting for Euro skaters, it does look like he has a much higher chance than his brother at being drafted. Now, in case you were wondering, 53rd on the European list isn't actually really all too great, because obviously the majority of players that get drafted in the NHL draft are from North America, so you have to take a look at the European list and the North American list, combine them together, and all of a sudden you have yourself a somewhat coherent mock draft. But with Leo Lööf and the ranking that he is in, I wouldn't be surprised if he went undrafted. Same thing for Linus Lööf, especially since Linus didn't play too many games this past season. But my oh my, if these guys can show to the world that Swedish Twins can still be great, then Vancouver, man, Vancouver, you gotta get these guys. You gotta get them. If there's a chance, if there's any potential to make the league one day, I want to see these guys in the blue and green. Hey, maybe the Canucks take a chance and draft Joel and Max Wahlgren, and they draft the Lööf Twins. Get that Swedish connection going back here in Vancouver. Oh man, I've been playing too much GM mode over the past few days. I don't know if you can tell or not. But another thing that these two twins have over the Wahlgrens is the projectability. Assuming Linus Lööf, the center who apparently was injured the whole year, comes back, and he is as good as his brother, then if these guys are able to play in the SHL next year, that's already an immediate step up from what the Wahlgrens were able to do this year. Joel and Max Wahlgren were barely cracking the Allsvenskan to end off 2019-20. And next season, they most likely are going to play in the Allsvenskan full-time. The Allsvenskan is the second pro league in Sweden. It's like the AHL of Sweden. So, if the Lööf Twins are able to come into the SHL full-time next season, they automatically get the step up over Joel and Max Wahlgren. Also, the dynamic is changed tremendously. A center and a D-man is different than a center and a winger. And obviously, you can tell the differences from there, but just the way this draft is shaping up, there are so many interesting players. And believe me, I'm not going to sit here and lie and say that I've seen the Lööf Twins play at all outside of the Hlinka Gretzky tournament, but my oh my, I can't believe it. There are legitimately two more Swedish twins in this draft. Hey, remember, there was another pair of twins in last year's draft as well, and I'm not talking about Joel and Max Wahlgren. The Jackson twins, Ty and Dylan Jackson, who we also made a video about, are two guys who are heading over to Northeastern University next year. The same university where Adam Gaudette solidified himself as an NHL prospect star, where Tyler Madden just tore up the league from, where Jordan Harris and Kaiden Primo and all these other great players were or have been playing. And if the Jackson twins can become great too, then they could see themselves get drafted as well as overagers. So we may see another pair of twins in the NHL soon, man. Like, the odds of any of these guys becoming an NHL duo, I don't want to say it's tremendously high, but the odds that none of them make the NHL aren't necessarily too high either, because track records, SHL playing time, Allsvenskan playing time, NCAA playing time, if anything goes right in any of these leagues, then boom, you have yourself a winner. So comment down below what you think about the Lööf Twins. Hey, if there are any Swedish viewers out there, any Färjestad viewers out there, please comment down below. Tell me what the Lööf Twins are about. I want to know more about these guys. And the Hlinka Gretzky games were so long ago that I don't want to say that those are reliable sources of information. So in the limited time that Linus Lööf played and in the extended amount of time that Leo Lööf played, what did you gather from these two players? I hope you enjoyed this video. So that Trost 99, and bye.